confortable et stable. So what does that mean? That means that this is not a fitness contest, right? So it's a bit the way we used to think about our physical movement practice, whatever it is, that I want to get myself to failure, right? To my max, to, build those muscles, things like that. And, we get all the benefits of that in our yoga practice. So we get the benefit of a stronger, a more supple body, a more mobile body. But ultimately, our practice, we're using the body to tap into our breath. And then with that breath, we can tap into the mental space. We can get into that, finding like a more spacious, I was going to do spacious space, but it's a lot of space, but we're looking for that space that just resides inside. And then with the movement and the breath together, with all the sink in, you kind of get into a moving meditation. So that's the goal. So as you follow your breath, and then kindness, as always. Yeah? So whatever the body says yes to, we go for it. And what the body says, like, not so sure, then, we adjust, modify, or we skip. Yeah? So actually, we all start standing up. We'll sing, on se lève debout. Venez à l'avant du tapis. So come to the front of your mat. And we'll start into, it's the basic posture of all asana is our mountain pose. So come to the front of your mat. And now bring your feet hip distance apart, les pieds à la largeur des hanches. You could even lift your toes, kind of spread the toes wide and then bring them back down. You can start with your hands on your waist or your hips. Kind of that proud, like there's that little girl in New York. I don't know what the statue is called, like it's just like the hero pose, I think. So just open your chest. Shoulder blades are slightly coming closer to one another, and then release your arms to the side. Laissez aller les bras. Now, can you close your eyes? Est-ce que vous pouvez fermer les yeux? And just start tapping into your breath. Yeah? So I invite you to release the day. I invite you to release the week. The good and the bad. So whatever's been going on before, whatever's coming, can you offer yourself the space to be here now? So now as you start to focus on your breath, do a little body scan. So starting from the top of the head, and then coming into the forehead, you start by softening all those tense areas. On amène la douceur dans le front. L'espace entre les yeux. And then we go down to our jaw. On va à la mâchoire. And then maybe you open your mouth. You can wiggle that jaw side to side. And then you relax the upper lip, the lower lip, your chin. As you breathe in, you feel the chest opening up. As you exhale, you feel yourself really grounded. So feel the easiness, the comfort of the posture here. This is a yoga posture. It's a mountain pose. So how can we bring that quality for the whole practice of the breath, of the sense of spaciousness, the sense of presence? Now, if you'd like to join me into a chant, we'll start with 3 Ohms. You could bring your hands to the heart center. Breathe in. Just taking a few moments here with your breath. So maybe you set an intention. Maybe that's in line with today's theme, which is steady and comfortable. Not effortless, but not taking us out to a point where we're huffing and puffing. So after your next exhale, you open the eyes and you come to the front of your mat. So now if you see me look at my phone once in a while, it's just because this was very last minute. I want to make sure I remember the whole sequence. Yeah? So we come to the front of the mat. Now I'm going to be at the back of the room. I'm going to continue to do some massage, so listen to my words. Okay? Donc à l'avant du tapis, we'll start with the sun salutation modification. It's one of my favorite ones. If you practice with me, we've done this. So you bring the hands to the heart center. On the inhale, you reach both arms up. And as you exhale, you inch forwards. Uttanasana, flexion avant. Now inhale as you lift your chest halfway. And on your exhale, you plant both hands to the mat, and then you step your right foot back. You bring your right knee to the mat, and you point your toes towards the back of the room. Now inhale as you reach both arms up. Curve your lower back. You sink into that left hip, the right hip. And exhale, both hands down. You step your left foot, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Chien, tête baissée. So now we're looking at the different flows we have today. Inhale as you come forward to a plank. And as you exhale, consecutively, one after the other, you bring your your knees, your chin, and your chest to the mat. You keep the elbows in, no wings. Now glide onto your belly. Inhale, lift your chest up, baby cobra. And exhale, you plant your toe, you bring your seat back to your heels, you lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog, chien, tête baissée. Now inhale as you reach your right leg up and back. And then exhale, step the right foot between your hands. You bring your left knee down, you point the back toes. We're going into our lower lunge. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, both hands to the mat. You step the left foot forward, fold over your legs. Uttanasana, flexion avant. Jusqu'au ciel. Inhale, reach up, lengthen the side body. And exhale, hands to heart, Samastiti. Left side, listen. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, inch forward, flexion avant. Now inhale as you lift your chest halfway, shoulder blades want to kiss. Exhale, both hands down, big step with the left foot back, but you keep the knee up. Right? We're getting ready for a high lunge. Inhale as you rise up. And exhale, both hands to the mat, you step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Now we can go maybe with the second flow options. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And on your exhale, knees down, and then bend your elbow towards the back all the way to your belly. Now inhale into your baby cobra. Exhale, you plant your toe, you bring your seat back to your heels, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Now, inhale as you lift your left leg up and back. And exhale, you bring the left foot between your hands and you look forward. Now inhale, you reach up, high lunge, le grand lunge. And exhale, both hands to the mat. You step the right foot forward, hinge forward, Uttanasana, flexion avant. Push into your feet, engage the core. Inhale, reach up, tall. And exhale, hands towards Samastiti, equal standing pose. On continue. Inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, hinge forward, flexion avant. Inhale, halfway lengthen, à demi. And as you exhale, you plant both hands to the mat. You take a big step back with the left foot, le pied gauche. And then the right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And on the exhale, choose your flow on your toes or on your knees. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. 3 respirations. Inspire. Aimerais-tu un petit prenant? Et expire. Now inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Une dernière. Inspire. Et expire. Now, as you inhale, you reach your right leg up and back, la jambe droite au ciel. Exhale, the right foot between your hands, and you look ahead. Now, if you have a strap, grab your strap. Si vous avez une strap, attrapez-la. Maybe I'll bring you some if you need. Okay? So now we come up into our high lunge. And on the exhale, so we're getting in cow face arms. So you bend the right elbow, kind of bring the palm in between your shoulder blade, if you can. And then we can catch the strap here. And then we open our chest to the sky and exhale, sink into that left hip. Inspire. Expire. Anyone needs a strap? I can give mine. Inhale. Exhale. Are you okay? Inhale. And then as you exhale, you bring your left knee all the way down. Yeah? And now we leave with this to the side. Yeah? Now you might want to double your mat. Because we're open the left quad. On va ouvrir le quadriceps gauche. So you start leaning forward, so you come kind of the muscle in front of the kneecap. And now see, maybe with your strap or with one hand and then the other, are you able to catch that, the back of your foot? Yeah? And as we inhale, we lift our chest up. And exhale, sink into your left hip, lift your chest up. Inspire. Expire. Inspire. Et expire, on relâche le pied. Release your foot back to the ground. Now you bring both hands to the mat. Inhale, lift your back knee. And exhale, step your left foot forward, fold over your legs. Now as you inhale, you reach both arms up. And exhale, hands towards MSTT. I was going to ask if you want the fans, but they're already on. I can't do anything else for you guys. Okay. Inhale as you reach both arms up. And exhale, hinge forward. Uttanasana, flexion avant. You'll halfway lengthen, à demi-dos long. And as you exhale, you step the left foot back, then the right foot back, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale as we come forward to a plank, shoulders over wrist. And exhale, we flow on the knees or on your toes. Use the breath now. We're not in a hurry. Upward facing dog or cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. On prend 3 respirations. Inspire. Expire. Inspire. Expire. Ça va ça ici, oui? Inspire. Expire. On va prendre une dernière. Inspire. Et expire. Inspire. On lève la jambe gauche au ciel. Your left leg up and back. And as you exhale, you bring that left knee into your chest. You step your left foot between your hands. The right knee is up. Now, if you need your strap, you grab it. Si vous avez besoin de la sangle, on la prend. Now, inhale as we're reaching up into our high lunge. Now, you bend that left elbow so the hand comes between the shoulder blade. Without the strap, we could just come here, right? It doesn't matter. It's not about what it looks like. It's what it feels like in your body. Inspire. Expire. Steady and comfortable. Yeah? So that's the breath that's supporting you. Inhale. And exhale as you push your heel back. Yes. Inhale. And as you exhale, you bring your right knee all the way down to the mat. Now we release the hands. You could double your mat if you're like me with sensitive knees. Okay? So let me show you on this side. Okay? So you could bend your knee, and then with the same hand, you catch the back of the ankle, right? Now you bring your hips back, your shoulders over, and then maybe both hands. Yeah? Now, once we're here, can you bring your shoulder blades together to open your chest? And then exhale, sink a little bit more into the right hip so you feel that quad stretch. Inspire. Expire. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You've got this. Exhale. Now release your back foot. Bring both ends to the mat. Inhale, lift your back knee. And exhale, you step to the front of your mat, fold forward. Now we lift halfway. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And then come all the way back up. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands toward. I'm still, first brain malfunction. We continue. Okay. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Flexion avant. Now, halfway lengthen. On lève à demi. Now, on the exhale, you take a big step back with your left foot. Un grand pas derrière avec le pied gauche. And then right foot, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. And then on the exhale, you choose your flow on your knee or on your toes. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale, as you reach your right leg up and back, la jambe droite au ciel. Exhale, you bring the knee into your chest. You step the right foot between your hands, le pied droit entre les mains. Now we open the back foot for warrior two. On ouvre le pied gauche vers la gauche, and then you bring your torso up, your arms on either side, and then you come into your warrior two. Now inhale, and then as you exhale, glide forward, and then bring your elbow to your knee. We're coming into an extended side angle. Now inspire. No, it's all right. Exhale. Inspire. Expire. You want to open that chest towards the left. Is that okay? Yeah. Inspire. Expire. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you look down. Now listen up. Keep the body, the upper body as it is. Lengthen your right leg. Oh, now we're coming into a triangle. Inhale. Now lift the torso a little bit, the left arm forward. And then can you bring the right arm next to your right ear? Le bras droit à côté de l'oreille droite. Like a beach ball. Yeah? You can lengthen both arms. Yes, like this. Inhale. And exhale. Can you lengthen? Good. Inspire. Expire. Last breath in. And exhale, look down. Now come back to center, both hands towards the sky. And exhale, you got back to warrior two. Bend that front leg. Plier la jambe devant. Okay? Now inhale as you cartwheel both hands on either side of your front foot. And you're on the back foot. And then if you have blocks, hopefully they're at the front of your mat, we're getting into a supported warrior three. Okay? Donc on amène le poids dans le pied droit. Et on lève la jambe gauche parallèle au sol. Right? So now if you find your left hip opening to the side, can you square both hips down? Now find your balance here. There's a reason why we have blocks. Okay? We're going to get into Shiva squats. So inhale, and then as you exhale, bend the right knee. You bring the left knee behind the right. You come almost all the way down. And then inhale, come back up. Warrior three. And then exhale, you come back down almost all the way. And then exhale as you lift that back leg, the chest is parallel to the ground. And then inhale, behind, left, behind, right. And then exhale, you come all the way down. Right? Okay. Now, if this is not working in your own body, you can lengthen your left leg. Si ça ne fonctionne pas dans votre corps, allongez la jambe gauche. Okay? Now we reach both arms up. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you twist towards the right. So you twist towards your front leg, vers la jambe qui est devant. If you find that your right buttocks is floating, then try to adjust yourself or lengthen the left leg. Okay? Inspire. Expire. Inspire. Expire. Prends une dernière inspiration ici. Inspire. Et expire. Now come back to center, inhale. And then as you exhale, you kind of roll over your knees to come back into a downward facing dog. So you'll bring your hands to the front of the mat, and then we're stepping back to downward facing dog. Yeah? Now we inhale as we reach our right leg up and back. And exhale, you bring the right knee into your chest, and then you bring your right foot between your hands, le pied droit entre les mains. Yeah? So we're going back into that high lunge. Inspire. And then on the exhale, can you bend your elbows like into a cactus? Yeah? So right arm forward, left arm underneath. Now you catch either opposite elbows or maybe you cross all the way. Yeah? Now can you lift your elbows to your shoulders, elbow in line, and push your hands away? Yeah? So inhale, and then exhale as you lift your chest up. So bend into the front knee, push your back heel, open your chest to the sky. Inspire. Expire. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. So now listen up. Bring your torso back to neutral. Now find a drishti, a point of focus. We're balancing. On s'en va dans une balance. So weight into your front foot. Yeah, you inhale, you bring the left knee into your chest. And then as you exhale, you bring your left leg over right. You squeeze. We're getting into an eagle pose. So bring your seat back. Lift your elbow. Push your hands away. Inhale, lift your chest. And then exhale, just round. Bring your elbows towards your knees. Inspire. Expire. Sometimes in balancing pose, we find that it's far from being easy and comfortable. Now, can it be easy and you're comfortable in your own mind? Right? Can you just breathe through the annoyance? Now, let's come back to center. Knee into your chest, both arms to the sky. And exhale, we bring both hands to our heart, Samastiti. Breathing in and breathing out. OK, on répète de l'autre côté. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge forward. Uttanasana, flexion avant. Now you lift your back halfway. And on the exhale, you step the right foot back. The left foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to a plank, shoulders over wrist. And on the exhale, find your flow. Chien tête levée et chien tête baissée. Inspire, la jambe gauche au ciel, your left leg up and back. And as you exhale, you bring that knee into your chest, you round your upper back, and then you step that left foot forward. Now you open the toes to the right side, les orteils vers le côté droit. We lift up into our warrior two. Yeah? So can you walk your front leg a little bit more? Yeah, bend that front knee, yes. Align the heel with the back inner arch. Yeah? And now as you inhale, you lengthen your left arm to the side. We're getting extended side angle. And then bring your elbow to your knee or maybe to your hand to a block. Your right arm to the sky. And then open your chest as you bring the the fingers to the hands towards the front of the room. Inspire. Expire. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale. And exhale, look down. Okay, now lengthen the front leg. Allongez la jambe gauche. Keep that right arm going towards the front. And now can you bring the left arm next to the left ear? Yes. Inhale. It's a beach ball. Summer's coming. I thought it was appropriate. Inhale. And exhale. Now inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, look to your front foot. Now come back to center. Both arms reach to the sky. Lengthen both legs. And then as you exhale, you rebend your front knee. You bring your hands on the mat next to your front foot. You're into a runner's lunge. Yeah? Now we're getting ready for our warrior 3 here. So les blocs, peut-être, si on en a besoin. Yeah? And now bring the weight into that front foot and then lift your right leg up. Yeah? Now take time, for a breath or two if you want to play with the balance, let go of the blocks, adjust the hips so they're square. Check in, breath. Yeah? So now we're getting into a Shiva squat. So inhale, and then exhale as you bend the left knee, you bring the right knee behind, you almost go all the way, and then inhale as we come back up. And exhale, bend that left knee, right knee behind. Inhale, lengthen, left leg, right leg, chest up. And as you exhale, you bring that right knee down, but this time you glide the right knee all the way down behind that left ankle. Again, if you need to lengthen the right leg here, we're twisting towards the front leg. So inhale as you reach both arms, and exhale, twist towards the left. Inspire. Expire. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Now we can gently derotate. On déroule vers l'avant. And now again, we want to roll over our legs so we can plant our hands. Step back to downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths. If you find that the breath is getting short and choppy, you lengthen the breath on each cycle. Inhale as you reach your left leg up and back, la jambe gauche au ciel. And as you exhale, you bring the left foot to your chest, you run your upper back, and then you step that left foot forward. Lengthen the back leg. We're getting into our high lunge, grand lunge. Inhale. And as we exhale, we cactus our arms. Yeah? Now we bring the left arm forward, le bras gauche devant, le bras droit en dessous, and then find your eagle arms. Yeah? Now push that back leg, sink into your hips, and inhale as we open our heart up. And exhale. Inspire. And expire. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Take one last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Sink into that front knee. Now bring your torso back upright. Now you bring, but if you need to lengthen your front leg just to give it a break, okay? Now we're getting into our eagle. Yeah? So weight into the front. Inhale, right knee in. And now we cross that right leg over as we sit down. Right? So find your balance here. Find a drishti, a point that doesn't move. Lift your elbows, push your hands away. And now as you inhale, heart up. And exhale, round your elbows towards your knees. Breathing in and breathing out. So I'm doing sympathy sweat here. Okay? And now gently come back all the way up. Inhale. And exhale, bring your feet down, your hands on either side of your body. And close your eyes. Fermez les yeux. Maybe it's feeling a bit different than at the beginning of class. Where is the breath? Come back to your intention, to your center. Okay, on ouvre les yeux. So now we'll make ourselves all the way to the mat, and we'll get into our yin phase. So I think that we're all going to get a bolster. Tout le monde va chercher un traversin. And we're coming back on our mat, standing up. On revient debout. Ils sont tous derrière ou sur les tablettes. Parfait. Puis on revient tous à l'avant du tapis. You could add your bolster somewhere at the front. I'm not taking one because I'm not sure there's any extra, so I'll just show you. Parfait. So everybody's there standing up. On est debout à l'avant du tapis. We're going to do just a flow to get all the way down. Okay? Donc à l'avant du tapis, les mains au cœur. On inspire, les bras au ciel, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward, flexion avant. You inhale, halfway lengthen. And exhale, you step back to downward facing dog. Reculez, chien, tête baissée. Inspire, on vient en planche. Et expire, genou, poitrine, menton, knee, chest, chin. Inhale into your baby cobra. And as you exhale, you get into a child's pose, la posture de l'enfant. So now we're going to switch from a yang mode to a yin mode. In a way, yang is easier because sometimes we don't have time to think because we're moving, so much is happening. But now when we get into that stillness space, that can be a bit more challenging. So we're starting in two, so we can all sit on our heels, on s'assoit sur les talons. Et on va commencer dans la posture du sphinx avec le demi-grenouille. So sphinx with half frog. Okay? So our sphinx is here, right? Now you might need to have a bolster under your chest if you need to, okay? So you can get that extension and then we'll open the knee to the side. Okay? So it could be with bolsters or without. Okay? So we're staying here for 2 minutes. On est ici pour 2 minutes sur chaque côté. Oui, ça peut être supporté, le traversin sous le ventre aussi. Yeah, that works too, yes. So amenez le genou sur le côté et comme ça ici. So juste en ligne. Et hanche vers le sol. Et vous devriez sentir une extension, comme une courbure dans le dos. You speak French or English? Okay, good. Nice. Okay, good. You okay with the prana? Yes? Okay. Oh, it's okay. Sweat is good. It's okay. All of us. I always have the same reaction. Just worry from you. Don't worry. So now you're finding stillness. On trouve l'immobilité in our edge. So what's the edge? It's just that point of resistance where you feel sensations in the body. So yin versus our yang practice. We keep stretch, we keep the postures longer so we can kind of give the chance to those very stubborn connective tissue and fascia to get stretch and open and lengthen. It takes time. So we've got another 30 seconds. On a encore 30 secondes ici. And as we move through that yin practice, we always see what am I sensing, what am I feeling? And then is this a place where I'm breathing with steady comfort, steady and comfortable? Take one last breath. And then as you exhale, you bring your chin back all the way down. You lengthen your back leg. So if you have an accessories, you're going to have to move it. Si vous avez un accessoire, il va falloir le bouger. Okay? Because now we continue into the shoulders. Now you lengthen your right arm to the side, le bras droit à côté. So your wrist is a bit higher than your shoulder, a little bit lower. Okay, just not in line, pas en ligne. And now with your left hand, you push, and then you roll onto that right hip, and you bring the left leg back. Maybe your head is on a blanket, on a block. So this is a tender space, that shoulder opening. And we don't often stay much here. Yeah, so you get into that as much as it's accessible. And I do understand it's a challenge because we have neighbors so close by. So actually, I could have suggested also a cactus arm if you don't have enough space. So now whatever is going on in your mind space, if it's not completely present with where you are, can you let that go? Right? Can you release the need to get involved at this very moment? And then after that next exhale, après votre prochaine expiration, vous allez revenir doucement sur le ventre. So come back nice and gentle on your belly. Breathe, just relax your arms on either side. On va répéter du côté gauche, so left side. So now, Sphinx with the frog. Yeah? So, again, if you need that bolster underneath your chest, or maybe just a blanket, or if you have space, maybe you want to get into a seal for the second time around. Yeah? So seal posture is when we plant our hands at the front and we really push to lengthen our arms. And my new trick from Marisol that I learned is to put a bolster underneath your pelvis, and then it gives you much more space. Right? Il y a plus d'espace pour la courbure dans le dos. But now, that's difficult with the frog leg. So. On peut avoir même un bloc sous la tête. You could have a block under your head if you need support. Un petit peu ici, inspire, et expire. Relax your jaw and your face. Inspire. Expire. Now I'm going to really aim here to not talk so much for the rest of the practice. I will continue to guide you, but we will make this a space of being more into that meditative space. So find something to anchor yourself. Yeah? If you find that you're being distracted, can you just focus on the sensation of your chest lifting and collapsing on each breath? And then after your next exhale, gently, tenderly, you release. You lengthen both legs. And now just watching your neighbors, right? Maybe you're a bit more at the left side of your mat. Yeah? And then we open the left arm, or maybe you could even cactus that arm. Yeah? Yeah? So you want to just be just a bit like here. Yeah? And now roll over your hip. Yeah? So you can feel the stretch in your shoulder. Can you keep your head down? Yeah. Is that okay? Okay, good. So pain is information. Yeah? La douleur, c'est de l'information. It is telling you that you need to get the out of there. Okay? So if you have any pain, any discomfort, something that's electric shock, anything like that, release. And after that next exhale, you will gently come back to center. And now you could get into a crocodile. So it's basically you're on your belly. You can bring both hands underneath your forehead. You know, you can make a little cushion. You could even bend your knees and swing your legs side to side if that offers some release. And then gently you bring your feet back down. And you'll plant your toes. Your hands next to your chest. You bring your seat to your heels, your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So just, or it could be to a child's pose, just to give ourselves a little release from that back bend, from the hip opening. And then we'll come back into a tabletop. On revient dans la position de la table. And then you'll swing your legs to the front. Oh, yeah, I got it, yes. Okay. And now we'll get into a butterfly. On s'en va dans un papillon. Okay. So we bring the sole of our feet together, la plante des pieds. You could have a blanket under your seat, si ça l'aide. You could have blocks under your knees. On peut avoir des blocs sous les genoux. On peut amener les mains, So this is a long leg butterfly. On peut amener la paume des mains sous les jambes, les paumes vers le ciel. Now here you could have a bolster, that's on your belly here. If you need support, you could have a rolled blanket. You could have a block underneath your head. Okay. On est ici comme pour 4 minutes. Yeah? We're 4 minutes here. So find support, right? And then whatever version of the posture you're taking, don't start with like the most intense version of that. Right? Give your time some space to grow or to open. So for some, hip opening can be triggering. Energetically, we hold a lot of tension in our hips. So how do we breathe into that discomfort? Well, softness helps. Yeah, so each time you breathe in, you fill the cavity as much as you can of air. And as you breathe out, you bring softness in all those tight spots. So we still have 2.5 minutes. So where's the edge? Où est votre limite? Did it move? Are you able to give yourself a little bit more space? Or are you getting so chaotic in your mind because you're in discomfort that you can't think straight, which is not the point. So if that's the case, I invite you to just release, or you may be getting out of the posture completely. There's nothing that you really have absolutely to do. As you keep a long breath flowing in and out. We've got another minute and a half now. For those of you who have really open hips, you could even choose to put a block underneath your feet now to get a little bit more into those hips. You might try. Maybe it works, maybe. Get back into your posture. Yeah. Is that okay? Okay, good. Do you want a blanket? You're good, okay. We take 2 more big breaths, 2 grandes respirations. And then when you're done with that breath, very gently, on prend notre temps, on sort de la posture. And fine release. Peut-être on fait des essuie-glaces. You could also do like some reverse table, un petit peu de mouvement. Vous pouvez allonger les jambes, coucher sur le dos. So rebound is kind of between the yin posture. It gives a chance to the body to adapt. Nice. And then we'll get all the way to our back. On s'en va complètement sur le dos. Okay. So now if you have a bolster, you could put it on your right side. Vous pourriez l'avoir sur le côté droit. We're getting into a twist, a supine twist. You might not need it, but I find that it's a nice add-on. Okay? Donc, le genou gauche dans la poitrine, your left knee into your chest. Yeah? And now you roll onto your right hip, and you bring the left knee to that bolster, if you need it, or a block. But now the goal is to get the shoulder blades in the ground. Now, if the left shoulder is floating, it's okay. You can bend that left elbow, bring your hand to your rib cage. Can you let go of any preconceived idea of what you think you should look on your mat right now, of what you think you should be able to do? Can you just be with what is? And then after your next breath, you come back to center, revenez au centre. And bring both knees into your chest, amenez les 2 genoux dans la poitrine. And just give yourself some love, some release. You can sway right and left, front and back. And then gently, when you are ready, Now we can we can start by putting our feet on the mat. If you're using the bolster or a block for support, you move it to the other side. On l'amène de l'autre côté. Hein? Et là, on allonge la jambe gauche. On plie la jambe droite. Squeeze that into your chest. And then make your way. Hein? Left knee towards the right. And really take the moment, the time to set yourself up. Hmm? So we've got one more minute. Il nous reste une autre minute ici. Just rest with the sensations. If the discomfort is great, can you stay just with your breath for a few more, just a little longer? Let's take 3 big breaths. And then once you're out of your last breath, we're coming back to center. On revient. Again, always nice and gentle. And I'll give you any release that you need. As we're getting ready for our last posture, which is our Shavasana, on s'en va dans notre dernière posture. So take space. Now you could have your bolster under your knees. You can use a blanket. I'm going to turn the air out. Yeah? Turn off. So allow your body to sink into the support of the earth underneath you. Allow your breath to be flowy and natural. We're going to have a quiet Shavasana. Now can you stay present just a little bit longer? So now for those of you who would like to extend their Shavasana, or maybe at home, I invite you to remove motionless. On peut rester ici. Or if you're ready to come back to the world, so we'll just start to bring some movement back. Les extrémités, les pieds, les mains. On fait attention à nos voisins. Watch the neighbors. We could stretch our arms overhead. And then when you're ready, you can bring the knee back into your chest as you give yourself some squeeze and some balancing. And then we'll let ourselves go all the way to the left, le côté gauche, or yin side. And just before we end today's practice, you just bring that in mind, that sutra, right? It says asana should be steady and comfortable. How can we bring that principle into our everyday life, right? Breath should be steady and comfortable. Encounters should be steady and comfortable. So we want our life to be steady and comfortable. And the tool is our breath. It can always bring us back to a space where we can see with more clarity. So keeping your eyes closed, you can bring yourself back to a seat. Maybe keep the eyes closed just for a few more moments. Keeping that focus in. Giving yourself a bit of gratitude for showing up on your mat today. For being present. And we'll close with one Om. Breathe in. As always, thank you for allowing me to guide your practice, to share this with me. Namaste. And namaste to our Om Yogi. We're with you. Merci tout le monde. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. And then, well, take your time. We're not pushing anyone out. Just after like such a practice, we want to kind of